The story of Josh. What if your greatest strength was born from your deepest pain? What if the challenges that almost broke you became the fuel that pushed you to the top? This is the story of Josh Cullen Santos, the fierce, fearless, and fiery member of SB19. Behind the charisma, tattoos, and bold performances is a young man who refused to be defined by hardship. His journey is raw, real, and proof that no matter where you start, you can rise, thrive, and lead with power. If you like this type of stories, please like, share, and subscribe for more. Before the lights, before the fame, before the name, Josh Cullen echoed on global stages. He was just Josh, a boy growing up in the tough streets of Las Piñas. Life wasn't smooth. He didn't come from wealth, and the road he walked was filled with bumps, battles, and broken dreams. But even as a child, Josh had something others couldn't see: fire. He wasn't just trying to survive, he was trying to escape. Escape poverty, escape pain, escape the feeling of being stuck in a world that didn't believe in second chances. In those moments, music became his lifeline, dance became his release, and the dream of becoming someone bigger than his circumstance, that dream kept him moving. Josh didn't have the luxury of comfort. He worked early, hustled hard, and faced responsibility at a young age. He often said he wanted to lift his family out of hardship, not someday, but as soon as possible. That pressure could have crushed him. Instead, it sharpened him. When he auditioned for SB19 Philippines, Josh wasn't just chasing a dream, he was chasing freedom. He entered the training program not as the best dancer or singer, but as someone who was willing to go through anything just to make it. And make it, he did, through years of intense training, injuries, sacrifices, and silent tears. The process was brutal. SB19's pre-debut phase tested their physical and mental limits. But for Josh, every drop of sweat was worth it. Because every time he danced, he was fighting for his family. Every time he wrote a lyric, he was building a bridge to a better future. When SB19 debuted, the world didn't applaud right away. They were judged, ignored, and doubted. But Josh never allowed the negativity to slow him down. In fact, it fueled him. He stood out, not just for his edgy look and electric dance moves, but for his intensity. There was passion in his eyes, purpose in his movements. You could see it. This wasn't just performance. This was survival. This was life. And then came the breakthrough. Go Up changed everything. It wasn't just a song, it was a declaration. Josh poured his story into every performance. Fans started to take notice. The boy from Las Piñas, who once felt invisible, was now inspiring millions. But Josh didn't stop there. As SB19 rose to international stardom, Josh began exploring even more of his creative identity. In 2023, he launched his solo career with tracks like Wild Tonight and Pakiasap Lang. His solo work was bold, edgy, and unapologetically him. He wasn't afraid to experiment. He wasn't afraid to tell stories that were raw and real. Through every lyric, every beat, every stage dive, Josh was saying something powerful. You can come from nothing and become everything. What makes Josh different isn't just his talent, it's his mindset. He speaks about mental health, inner battles, and the pressure of perfection. He's open about his flaws, his past mistakes, and the work it takes to stay grounded. That vulnerability is what makes him powerful. He doesn't wear a mask, he turns his scars into songs. Josh represents every person who has ever felt stuck, unworthy, or forgotten. His story is a testament that your past doesn't define you, your decisions do. That even when life pushes you down, you can rise, fight, and fly. He is also a voice for the misunderstood, for those who express themselves differently, for those who are artistic, introverted, emotional, or intense. Josh proves that it's okay to be complex. That true strength is being honest with yourself and having the courage to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you fall. As SB19 continues to break barriers and represent Filipino talent on the global stage, Josh continues to evolve, not just as a performer, but as a leader. He's not afraid to speak up, not afraid to stand out, and not afraid to take the road less traveled. His journey is still unfolding. But one thing is clear, Josh Cullen is not just an artist, he's a force. He turned his pain into power, his silence into rhythm, his fear into fire. And now he stands tall, not because everything came easy, but because he refused to stay down. Josh's story teaches us that our beginnings do not limit our endings. That no matter how dark your past is, there is still a path forward, if you're willing to fight for it. He reminds us that being real is better than being perfect, and that your fire, no matter how small, can light up the world if you protect it. So if you've ever doubted yourself, if you've ever felt trapped by your situation, look to Josh. Let his journey remind you that you have the power to rewrite your story, and that even in your hardest battles, you're never alone. What part of Josh's journey resonated with you most? Your feedback matters. Share your thoughts and help us continue telling stories that inspire and empower.